what is fundraising and what's an angel investment or we had a lot of startups that were saying, listen, I want to really go into the details of how do I structure an investment? What are the terms I should be thinking about? What are some examples of and benchmarks of what's going on in market, and these types of more juicy questions, which usually a surface level primer won't cover. So we designed a program from the ground up that's based on that. We brought in one of our longtime mentors and partners from Amir Farha from Beko Capital, who's an investor and has some background and experience in VC. And we ran a day-long program with a group of startups on that topic. So that's one example of a kind of thing that we'd like to do, which is tackle one of these thorny issues through some really practical, hands-on kind of approach, and try to bring that as value to the community. And we'll be seeing a lot more of that. So that's on our Astrolabs Academy front of the side of the business that we do.
To look back to your question on the obstacles, some of the core ones obviously are kind of skills. One of the most important one in skills is people's ability or founders' ability to find coders, right? Big shortage of high quality developers in the region. Even when you outsource, it's a huge headache, and you find a lot of founders finding an outsourcing company that ends up not working out for them. Digital marketing is huge. Thank you so much. Yeah, I need it. Digital marketing company is also quite important talent, right? Funding is less of a issue, to be honest. A lot of times people are surprised, funding is an issue.
So
Funding is not an issue, right?
In terms of knowing when to ask for it.
Yeah. So knowing how to fundraise, is definitely the question.
Yeah.
But shortage of capital is not really the big issue in the region, right? Because every startup that has been able to bootstrap at the beginning with very solid founders and has been able to improve a solid business model, not prove, but at least show some traction, has been able to fundraise, right? Almost never have I seen. Only one case, I have seen solid founders with a good idea and good hustle not being able to fundraise. And in that one case, it was because it was e-commerce, and e-commerce needs a lot more funding. So the investors, told the guys, if I, fund you now, the next round, who is going to be, right? You're going to need way more money. But in general, funding is not an issue.
What about issues like having to rent a space or struggling with legal fees and that kind of thing, which you could circumvent here?
Yeah, I mean the whole getting things up and running and kind of being able to go from 0 to 1, turning the lights on, was one of the issues that we wanted to be able to address. So moving on from sort of just the academy side of things in terms of training and the human capital development, we were like, okay, what's the other major issue that we want to tackle? And that was trying to, actually there's a global trend of the importance of physical space. And there's some magic that happens when you bring people together in one space, and spice within that some mentorship and events and things that, kind of opportunities to be able to intersect. So one of the core areas that we were trying to address in the very beginning and when we decided to set up a space was exactly what you're talking about, which is some of the fundamentals of that we went through also. Setting up, okay, so I want to go set up a company and I want to own it 100%, and I don't have, whatever, $30,000, $40,000 to show in my bank account, and I don't have the costs, the amount of the fees that are required to be able to get things started on an idea. I'm not sure where it's really going to go. That's one. But even more than just the cost is it's just even navigating it all, figuring out, okay, what am I supposed to do? And this thing is going to take me months to get done, and I don't know what. So we tried to